What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This looks like a very diverse group of people, right? So what could these four people possibly have in common? Well, they're all snake oil salesmen and women. And before we get to the why, let's all make sure we have a clear understanding of what we're talking about. Snake oil is defined as a substance with no real medicinal value sold as a remedy for all diseases. It's a product of little worth or value that is promoted as the solution to a problem. Brittany Renner, Jeremy Financial Education, Derek Jackson, and yes, Logan Paul have all lied to and sold their followers, fans, and subscribers on products that have little to no value. So let's start at the top with Brittany Renner. This is a young lady, and I use that term very lightly. If you don't know who she is, she's basically an internet personality slash influencer or whatever the hell you want to call it. And, she's made a living sleeping around with a bunch of famous men. Let's be frank about it, right? I'm not here to sugarcoat shit for y'all. And she then decided to go and write a book about her getting it on with all these different men and people, and then detail her several experiences. And the entire time she's doing this, she's simultaneously telling women to use their bodies to exploit men for money. Which means she's telling young women everywhere to go the same route that she has to secure their place in the world. And she said this to women everywhere. She even had a lot of you all buy an entire book about it. And that's the grift. Because just a few days ago, she goes on another podcast and tells the world how she's now disgusted by her high body count and promiscuous lifestyle. A complete 180 from the message she was just preaching while trying to sell her provocative book to women everywhere. The sheer irresponsibility that she pushed onto other young women. And some people are going to say, oh, well, at least she's changed. At least she knows her self-worth now. Yeah, and that's great. But it doesn't absolve you from the damage that you've already done. She's got 4.7 million followers that she promoted her bad life choices to. But now wants everyone to know that her body is a temple and a home. It's ridiculous. But she's not alone. There's a guy by the name of Derek Jackson that refers to himself as a relationship expert and was known for being an absolute simp for women everywhere. He sold them a dream while saying all the shit that they wanted to hear. Meanwhile, this guy who's telling women to respect themselves and raise their standard was disrespecting his wife in the worst way possible in front of the world the entire time by being with several other women. And this is a guy who fancies himself as a relationship coach. He's put out several books grifting his followers for years and selling merchandise with stolen quotes on it because he doesn't have an original thought in his brain. Yet, at the height of his career as a relationship coach, he had over 2 million people following him. Now, since everything has been revealed about who he really is, he's gone dark mode on Instagram and hides his follower count and has turned off all of the comment sections on all of his videos because he realizes that a lot of disillusioned people have woken up, which is the same thing that I hope happens with the people that blindly follow people like Logan Paul. This guy has a following that has over 24 million people. So you can imagine that's a lot of influence. And you think someone who's made a lot of money and become a multimillionaire from YouTube and has achieved the level of success he has in boxing and his various other ventures wouldn't need to promote scams and bullshit ass projects to grift money from his followers. But these types of people really just can't help themselves, it seems. CoffeeZilla, just a few days ago, completed a 3-part series on the scam CryptoZoo. And who was one of the names at the top of the pyramid scheme, right? Leading hundreds of thousands of people into it. You guessed it, it's Logan Paul. This guy has no shortage of scams to push onto his dim-witted followers. He's the same guy who pushed a crypto token that he himself had a hand in creating called Dink Doink that failed miserably. And the same people that saw that followed him into another mousetrap with his latest scam, CryptoZoo. Again, a lot of you young people want to believe that these people are your friends, that they're here to help you. They're not. They're out for themselves. Which brings us to the last person on this list. Really, this list could be doubled, but I'm going to keep it short for today. Maybe I'll do a part 2. But last but not least, Jeremy Lefebvre. This is someone who many of you all have placed at the top of the mountain in the finance community. At the time of this recording, he has well over 700k followers. That's just on one of his channels. And how did he repay you all for your blind faith? By selling you on bullshit like Palantir, Tattooed Chef, and other terrible stock picks like Honest Company. A stock that he told you all was a great buy at $9.14. Today, it's under $3. And he actually charges people in his Patreon and other courses for financial advice, and so that you can see him utterly destroy his portfolio. This guy is a complete clown who only has the money to gamble on companies like this because of the money he's made from grifting his followers on YouTube. What a fucking joke. And these are the people that many of you out there have chosen to be your guides to wealth and prosperity. So some of you may be wondering why I do videos like this, and it's to remind you to be careful who you trust, but more importantly, be careful of what you invest in with your money. A lot of people fall victim to the persona that these influencers portray, and then when things go south, they just shrug their shoulders and move the hell on to the next project and scam after taking your money while you're left holding the bag and taking the L. Don't invest in promises. Invest in the knowledge of wealth and how money works. Invest in ways to compound the money you make and already have access to while finding ways to grow financially. We're in a day and age where things have come full circle. The stimulus checks were cool, but now it's time to pay for it. And a lot of people are suffering because the economy is taking no prisoners. They used to say there was a middle class here in America, and more it seems and it feels like there's no middle class anymore. You either have it or you don't. And what I guarantee you is that buying into scams and projects that focus on the concept of amassing wealth through impractical investments will set you back long before it propels you forward. For 98% of us, there is no quick path to wealth, which is why you have to change the way you approach money today so that you can better tomorrow. But those are my thoughts. As always, you're welcome to leave yours in the comments below. And if I haven't made it clear already, invest diligently, but more importantly, my people, invest responsibly. Later.
Ain't got no apologies for you. Not at all. This shit is crazy. And it's crazy how this world is polarizing from the highs to the lows, where the drought meets the floods and the skies meet the road. Everything that says stop just inspires me to go, chasing dreams and me riding in that rose. You know, turn